Welcome to the Occupational Safety Leadership Podcast, episode number 260. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about overcommitment. So, as safety professionals, we can't actually say no. Well, I should say this is my own personal view here. We can't actually say no. When somebody says, I have a concern, I have something that has to be brought up, I have to, well, like all things in life, you can only tackle so much. If we kind of sat down and looked at a piece of a pizza, we can have pretty good attention span on one slice of pizza. But as we start to look at the different action items and timelines and things that have to be done, and if you looked at your job in a totality, you probably could not even find a individual piece of pizza because now that pizza is not 8 slices, it's probably 100. If you really sat down and looked at every single thing that you would ever have to do, every list, look at your checklist, look at just anything that's out there then. Um, and so we can't actually say no, but what we can do is we can add it to whatever we're going to call a list of action items, whatever that we're going to call it, and we're going to base it. We tackle it on a priority. Then, is it by risk? Is it by hazard? Is it by severity? Whatever form or fashion that we choose, because you can't tackle everything. Time is not endless. Money is not endless. So at some point, there has to be a mechanism out there. And I know that many times, as safety professionals, myself included, I'm talking about here, I've had to tackle a action item that I didn't think made it to the top of the list or anywhere close. But because somebody else in the company made a very big issue about it, it jumped to the top and was way past everything else. Was solved pretty fast, of course, and then I could kind of get back to my list. So I'm not going to say that there's always a you stick to the list and never deviate, because there's going to be times that you actually do have to deviate from that. So overcommitment is really hard. And of course, I say this also as older Dave talking to younger Dave, because younger Dave would have tackled everything at the same time, would have worked overtime, would have done all kinds of stuff, anything it takes to get it done. And I think all of us in the world of safety know that no matter how hard we work, the work is going to be there again tomorrow. When you're working on a continuous improvement model, something always has to be done. I've never shown up and said, "Wow, my list is done." Well, I guess I could walk around and grab a clipboard, write something down, or just something always has to be done out there. So I know I'm starting to deviate from the topic, but I really caution folks on overcommitment. Um, that also detracts away from how can I how can I put it then? So when we come to the table, people look at us at first, of course, and say, "Is this going to be a person that keeps their word? Are they keeping their items? Are they always a person that's late? Maybe there's just things that just never get done, but they keep promising I'm going to do it over and over again." Um, get out of that cycle. Get to the cycle of, I hear your concern. It's a valid concern, of course, but there's a lot of valid concerns. I'm going to add it to the list. You literally can even have a list published too. And you say, this is exactly what I'm working on now. So um, I try to be open and transparent and as honest as I can, and literally have a list and say, anybody can look at this list. Anybody has access to it. So these are the things I'm focused on now. It doesn't mean that something won't take its place, but for now, these are the things I'm working on then. Add it to the list, and as I as I get to it, I get to it. And I know that's extremely uncomfortable for some people, because some people really have a hard time saying no. And that was me too when I was young. I don't know if I felt any anxiety about saying no, or I was so focused on I really want to help everybody that everything just became yes. So Let's go ahead and just wrap up today's short and sweet episode then. So, episode 260, we talked about overcommitment. And a lot of it, of course, is older Dave talking to younger Dave. The things that I wish that I had done when I was a young safety professional, as opposed to almost having to learn the hard way, working super hard, nights, weekends, anything it took to hurry up and get things done. And in continuous improvement, the work is just there tomorrow. Doesn't mean that you don't care about people. Time, money, energy, focus, all that is actually a finite resource out there. So we have to use it the very best, the wisest that we can out there. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is Dr. David Ayers. Thank you and have a safe day.